Speaking of making multiple movies, this is the one I'm actually most excited for. It only sucks I have to wait 3 years to see it. But so they're coming out with a bunch of Beatle films, a four film cinematic event is going to be directed by Sam Mendes. Paul McCartney will be played by Paul Mescal. Um, who, if you guys don't know who that is, he played in Gladiator 2, the son um, Russell Crowe's character. You got John Lemon will be played by Harris Dickinson. I haven't liked a lot of Dickinson's films. That's more of the writing side and the story side, but he is really good in the those movies. You got Ringo Starr will be played by Barry Kingun. I have no idea to say his name. Who was in what was he in? I
Well,
forget.
are you said Barry Cogan?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Irish. Yeah, Cogan is how you say that. But yeah, he was the Joker in the Batman
Okay, that's right.
in that last he was also in the guard what was not what was the one Marvel movie he played
Oh, uh, oh,
the one
uh,
that
oh,
didn't do so well.
I'm blanking
Uh,
it.
you know what
It's
I'm
the,
talking about.
it starts with an E. Um,
The Eternals. He was in the
Eternals. I
Eternals.
was thinking
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Elemental. I was like, I get that word out of my head.
yeah.
But so you got George Harrison will be played by Joseph Quinn. Joseph Quinn is just is just getting a lot of projects after Stranger Things. He's been becoming a really big star. But and so what's interesting about this is that they're gonna make four Beatle films, but they're gonna be each movie's gonna be about each member, and just it's gonna be the same movie, but all from different perspectives. So depending on the watch order, could change your perspective on each film of itself, which sounds very interested to me because I don't know if I said this on video, but I know I've said this to people uh in person of like, you know, it would be cool if they do like some form of like biopic cinematic universe, something like that, where like you have like Timothy Chalamet's Bob Dylan show up in, I don't know, El and an Elvis film. I don't think they ever met, but I'm just saying as an example. But like that would be kind of cool if they did something like that. And this is kind of in the similar realms of that. Now that's a lot of movies to watch. And curious how they will release it. I think they've said that they will release it in the same month, so it's every new weekend that a new film will come out. I say like every 2 weeks you release the other ones. I think that would be best for people. Because
Yeah, but they
um
won't make the money if they release them every 2 weeks.
no,
They're not gonna make a lot of money. They're gonna have to space them out.
yeah. So
But
I'm curious.
I like Sam Mendes. You know, Skyfall. He directed Skyfall. The James Bond movie is my favorite
Hmm.
James Bond movie from the Daniel Craig era. He directed 1917, Road to Perdition. I don't think we need four Beatles movies. I think we need one.
Well, yeah.
And that would probably suffice. But whatever they're gonna do and create this Beatles universe, it just kind of seems like milking a cow.
Well, their whole pitch is to make it like an event to bring people back to the theater. That's their goal with it. I agree with you, but I actually see that they could do a lot more by diving into these people's lives they get their own individual films. And it'd be kind of cool to see certain scenes in
Let
the
me tell you, let me tell you something.
hmm.
The two movies out of the four that'll make the most money
Oh,
is going to be the Ringo is not going to be Ringo Starr or George Harrison. It's going to be the Paul McCartney and the John
hmm,
Lennon movie. The other two will tank financially.
yeah.
No one's going to go see all of them equally. No one liked Ringo.
Hmm,
Like they just didn't.
yeah.
So like the thought that like we're going to give him a whole movie, a biopic on Ringo. No. You have to put the Fab Four together because
That's what they made them.
nobody's going to go see the other two. As
Yeah.
much as people like George Harrison, uh, it just feels like it's a stretch. Now, they're probably going to have to block shoot the movies because if you're going to shoot things from people's perspectives all in the same timeline, you have to literally do, if you're at one location, shoot everything from all four movies at one location. It's going to be a mess. I mean, I wouldn't want to be a part of that. That's an
Well,
endeavor.
yeah, it like they would have to really be on point with a lot of these things, but like, bringing up those like same shoots, it's I mean, like, would it just be a simple camera change? Like like a different sh camera shot? Be like, all right, so we're gonna film this scene for the Joseph Quinn film. So get the camera shot here, lighting. All right, action. All right, cool. Now we're gonna shoot this scene from this character's perspective for this movie. All right,
Well, you have to think about like when you film a movie, you shoot in a 12-hour day.
yeah.
So if you're shooting one person's coverage in a scene, and then you have to shoot the other person's coverage for their movie in another scene. I mean, this is a process. I don't think I've ever heard of anything being shot like this before. I
Well, that's
mean,
why it's
I
not coming out until
remember.
April 2028.
Right, but I remember when they did the two Matrix movies back to back, simultaneously. They shot Back to the Future or two and three
Yeah.
simultaneously, but those were just two movies. We're talking about four movies, four characters, and they're period piece film, which makes wardrobe and all the backgrounds and everything such an
Well,
enormous undertaking.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be, as someone who works in the film industry,
the,
I would not want to be on these films in that capacity. That
for
this is a
sure.
hard movie. These are hard
Now,
movies.
there could be like four different co-directors too.
No,
No,
no, because Sam Mendes is going to be the guy to hold all the glue together because it's all in his head. You
so he
can't
can't be
have
the Kevin
somebody
Feige.
else. I mean, you could have a second unit director doing stuff like, if there's aerial shots of the tour van driving down the road. Yeah, I mean, you can send a second unit to go do that.
Hmm.
But for these being so intimate, dramatic scenes with these four characters, I can't see like somebody coming in and doing it would have been announced ahead of time if it was going to
Yeah,
be like the Russo brothers or, something like that.
yeah,
It's just, oof, this is
yeah.
going to be a tough one.
I agree, but it's a cool idea. And if it's executed right, this could be Oppenheimer, like a Barbie, a Oppenheimer or whatever how they called it.
Barbenheimer,
Barbenheimer.
whatever it was
Barbenheimer.
called.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Like it could be on the same level as that if they're executed perfectly. I don't know. Carson, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah. Well, so as somebody that absolutely
Oh,
loves
really?
the Beatles, and yeah, oh yeah. I mean, well, anything before they were in like their psychedelic era, I would say is probably like the 60s. Anyway, um, I don't mind the casting. Casting is fine. I agree with Sean that this is a very mighty undertaking, and especially with two people that are going to be, two of the less popular Beatles, I think is a really good way to say it. I'm not saying they're not as talented. The Beatles were the Beatles because of, the individuals that were a part. But, John Lennon's film is going to be interesting. I'm curious to see if they talk about Yoko Ono on it. That would be interesting as well. But I think the best way, besides Sam Mendes being the director and mastermind behind this, is going to be how they market it and how they release it and schedule it and all those. Um, Part of me thinks that if it's going to be, because I think if I'm not mistaken, April 2028, correct, was
Yeah.
when they were looking for the four.
Hmm.
You'd almost have to do like a Paul first and then a John last, or a John first and a Paul last.
Like
And
maybe like put like the pop like one popular Beatle first, the next unpopular, not the least one of the least popular ones second, popular and next
yes,
most.
kind of.
Yeah.
And and if they're all singular, nobody's going to want to see the two less popular. Like there may be some diehard fans, but like I said, now it's all going to be in the marketing and master strategy behind how successful two of the four are. But there's ways to get around it. I mean, there's plenty of time, right? So we're thinking what, 3 years almost on the nose.
Yeah.
So if they can do a good job, it's going to come down to marketing and it's going to come down to, what kind of fan service do they do? Because I've seen some of the original Beatles movies and they're enjoyable because it's the original Beatles, right? So I don't know. It's just interesting to see that this was, a concept. I know that some of the other ones, like the Elton John film, did really well. Um, was it the gentleman from I always forget his name.
Uh,
Sammy. Uh, what did he do? Oh my goodness, I can see it. Queen, the guy from Queen. I always forget his name.
mm,
Um, like there's been some really good movies for historical characters, and so and then Bob Dylan, obviously, that's
Right, right.
but I, I don't know. Some of that success of those films was because they have diehard fans that absolutely love those characters, and they picked really popular actors and actresses to play them. So, like, I don't know. I'm very hesitant. I'm
so
excited though.
you don't think
I'm a
that
Beatles
Joseph
fan.
Quinn would pull in an audience for not for like a less likable Beatles person?
I would say, and I mean this super respectfully to him as an actor, I think he's on the upswing, like he's
Hmm.
scoring major roles, but does he have the does he have the following or like the acumen of somebody like um, the gentleman who played Elvis or the gentleman who played Bob Dylan? I don't know.
Hmm.
So
Well,
that
there
remains to be
is
seen.
a little bit of buzz going on. Julia Baird, who was John Lennon's half sister, has expressed some concerns about the casting of the Fab Four because she says that none of them are from Liverpool, and the accent is almost impossible to capture if even if you're British. That if
Hmm.
you're not born and raised in Liverpool, you don't get it, and if they miss it in any way, shape, or form, they're going to get called out for it. That's bold because
Uh,
actors can act, but I'll tell you what, man, you flub an accent.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah, you upset
And if
a
that's John Lennon's half sister saying that, based on the casting of these four guys, um,
uh-huh.
because you got to, I mean,
oh
Barry
yeah,
Cogan
you have
is from Ireland. He's not
yeah.
from, Liverpool. So interesting that
You
she's calling them out on that.
I haven't really seen much of Harris Dixonson's acting, like overall, but like from the select films I've seen him from, he is really good. So we'll have to see if he can pull that
Yeah.
accent off.
Well, and that's the interesting thing is there's a difference between being a really great actor
Yeah,
and
you
being
gotta
able
know your
to act
boundaries.
and play a character. Maybe they need to take a a a page out of Daniel Day-Lewis's book and go live in Liverpool for 3 years. What does
Yeah.
that look like? I don't
But,
know.
well, maybe that's why it's coming out in 2028 because they're gonna make them live there for like a couple of years just this way
Yeah,
until the accent comes out. And it's like we're not filming until you get this accent,
it
or
would never
we'll
come out. Just
yeah.
kidding.
Or we'll CGI you out like that one guy in that one Zack Snyder film. Um, whatever that was for Netflix. That was
I will say, other than, Chalamet playing Bob Dylan and then, the Elvis and all, these guys have massive shoes to fill,
mhm.
you
Yeah.
know, massive shoes. I just don't know if I'd want to take on that challenge.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to
Because
wait
if
and
you get
see.
it wrong or you're hated in some way, shape, or form, boy, the Beatles fans don't play around. They
Oh
just wouldn't,
no.
you know?
Are there a lot of Beatles fans around to make this movie popular though?
Yes. Oh
Absolutely.
yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. I don't know.
I mean,
I barely listen to the Beatles. There's a couple.
you think I wasn't born until 20 plus years after the Beatles, well, 30 plus years after the Beatles came, and I'm still a huge fan. So they have some timeless music, and it's enjoyable, and that's the thing too is that when you talk about it's not like James Bond where you do one film and go, yeah, you're not James Bond. We're going to cast somebody else. It's you're portraying a character or characters, excuse me, of real life people that have sold, millions of albums and have millions of fans. So it'll be interesting. I'm definitely intrigued to see how this goes. So,
Thank you guys for watching this video. If you want to see the full-on podcast, I'll leave a link in the description below. And you guys can also check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like. And if you guys want to, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on the topics as well. So leave a comment on it. And if you guys are new to the channel and you guys enjoyed what you saw, hit that subscribe button because we have a lot of other stuff on the channel. As a reminder, this is a monthly upload on the Big Talk with Austin. And this will also give you guys the opportunity to submit some topics to us that happen throughout the month. So if you guys want to do that, go check me out on Twitter and follow me there. Tag me whenever something interesting pops up that is movie reviews, movie TV shows, any like pop culture related type of stuff. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like always, I'll see you guys next review. Bye, guys.